too. yatub.com/livingonadime/Lizzie.
I'm so glad
It's
Dave's on the
propagating.
other side of the camera.
You're on live, so don't say
I'm so
anything you
glad
wouldn't
you're on
tell
the
your
other
boss.
side of the camera.
Hello. Hi, I'm Tara. This is my mom, Jill. We are the authors of the new hardcover color picture.
Hardcover color picture.
Oh, Dining on a Dime cookbook.
That's only $29.95 at livingonadime.com/store.
20% off until tomorrow.
Oh.
Our New Year's sale ends tomorrow. Yes, this has been a really long New Year's sale. We're really sorry, but we wanted to wait until the books got here, and they got here Friday, in case you missed the news. Oh, yay! Where's all the we need our clapping, YouTube clapping noise.
So instead it's $23.96.
Okay, yes.
$23.96 for a limited amount of time until our New Year's sale is over.
Exactly.
Good show, Dave.
Exactly. Here we go. Let's see. Here,
That
is
is
this
a
it?
long New Year's sale.
Is this it? Oh, well, that's very anticlimactic. Oh, have mercy. Okay. So, yes. So, our cookbook is on sale. Our planners, up to 50% off for the whole thing. Here's our planner right here.
Holy moly.
Daily planner, 1 day per page mostly. A few days are combined. And then we have the goodies that go with the planner. The price book to help you get the best prices at the grocery store. This is my assistant Heidi and I's price, and then you can write in your own on all the foods. And then the financial planner to help you to get it together in 2020. Debt payoff, budgeting, savings, monthly expenses. It's all in there. And then my to-do list, refrigerator magnet, notepad, and my weekly menu and shopping list notepad. And then my apron, if you want it. We have the planners sets with or without aprons. These, I think, we're going to sell until the 20th or we run out. So, grab it if you want it.
At livingonadime.com/store.
livingonadime.com/store. There you go. So, we had so many questions from last week's show that we decided to go ahead and continue. There. Oh, isn't that pretty?
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh dear. Oops. Are we going to have dominoes? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. There.
Don't turn the burner on.
Please don't choke.
Don't turn the burner on.
Okay. But first, we had a couple of people say how disappointed they were that I didn't do the homemade cleaners. So, I'm going to run through these real quick because this is not rocket science, people. Let me tell you.
It's very simple.
Dining on a Dime cookbook, these cleaners are all in there. 5 homemade cleaners you didn't know you could make at home. I'm only going to do a couple of them. The first one is the homemade Clorox wipes. Now, this is so easy that, frankly, I don't understand why people buy Clorox wipes at full price. Now, I did get some Clorox wipes, but they were a really, really good deal. That's one of those things that I just don't waste money on. We just use a wash rag, usually with soap. Occasionally I need something a little bit stronger, but we really don't waste money on them.
I keep just some cleaner under my sink with a rag, and I just spritz it and wipe it down.
And for the toilet,
And it's just as easy as getting
the
out.
toilet, we use
pulling
paper
out the-
towels with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use paper towels.
So,
There you have
If the
disposable.
secret is, if you keep 2 or 3 cleaners or whatever you're using, keep it simple. You know, a couple of cleaners under your bathroom sink, each bathroom sink with the rags to shine and dry and to wash with for the sink. in each bathroom and in the kitchen. All you have to do is just bend down, pick it up, spray it on, and wipe it off, and you're over. You know, it's as easy as wipes.
Yep.
But go ahead.
Okay, the homemade Clorox wipes is water, rubbing alcohol. This is what disinfects, okay? It won't bleach anything, but it does disinfect as well as bleach. Then your Dawn dish soap. And if you want ammonia, I don't have any ammonia. If I have it on hand, I do. Ammonia is a really good degreaser. And you want to either use the ammonia or the Dawn. I happen to have Dawn right now. This is it. I mean,
Show's over. Bye.
But
it
see,
doesn't get easier than this.
You could put that in a spray bottle and then just keep a rag under the sink with a spray bottle of that.
And that's
spray
normally
it.
what I do.
And you save on the paper towels then.
Yeah. Now, if you want a homemade fruit and vegetable wash. Now, here's the thing. Most pesticides are, well, not most. All pesticides are water soluble, okay? Which means all you have to do is run your fruits and vegetables underwater. But if you just really feel that you need something more, just take some baking soda, and some lemon juice, put it in some water, put it in a spray bottle, squirt it on your fruits and vegetables, let it sit for just a minute, and then rinse off. That's all you got to do. This is what the natural fruit and vegetable wash is in the store that you're paying. I saw
But they
one
charge
for
you a lot
$5.
Yeah.
And it literally said sodium bicarbonate on there. It was crazy. They're paying $5 for literally 5 cents worth of materials just because they're marketing it as natural. It's absolutely ridiculous. But that's how easy that is.
And
Yes.
that's marketing for you.
How did you know I was going to say something?
I can tell.
The thing is, if you have fruits and vegetables with pesticides, they rinse off really good with plain water. But if you're eating organic fruits and vegetables, I would do something much stronger, just because it doesn't wash off as well. If there's any type of E. coli, salmonella, different things like that, you need to use something a little bit stronger for those types of vegetables. We had organic fruits and vegetables in Japan. We had to soak them in a light Clorox water before we could ever use them because it was so bad.
There's no way people who are eating organic vegetables are going to soak their vegetables in Clorox water.
Well, I know, but that's just giving everybody heads up. So people, if they get sick,
You're
that's
just going to
why.
just going to have to end up in the hospital with your own hospital bill.
Yeah, so, but that's just to give you
But
a
that's
heads
what-
up what the difference is. I would
Yeah.
trust the pesticides more than I would the organic. I know I'm not popular and that's not politically correct to say that, but that's what we found out. So,
It's the truth.
so
Sometimes the truth hurts. Okay, all-purpose cleaner, same exact thing, except sometimes I add vinegar in with my dish soap and my rubbing alcohol. The vinegar helps break down hard water spots. But that's how simple it is. And then I just put the same thing in a spray bottle, wipe it down. You're good to go. Yes, Michael.
Oh, Suzanne was just wondering about how is the goat cream for facial eczema? I saw alcohol as an ingredient.
Eczema. So my son has it, and we've had a lot of customers who have eczema, and they use it all the time. And
You might restate the question.
Use what?
love it. Oh, excuse me. The goat milk cream. Sorry, I keep forgetting Mike's behind the scenes. The goat milk cream, goatmilkgifts.com. Ellie's selling it for 25% off right now. She's having a flash birthday sale because her birthday was yesterday. It helps with dry skin a lot. It's great. And so eczema is one of those things where I don't know, we've had a lot of people, psoriasis and those kinds of things. We're not making any medical claims, but they've emailed me saying how much they love it. So
I think the thing is the alcohol in it is so just a tiny small amount to keep it fresh and that type of thing.
Yeah,
So
there's
it's
not
probably
hardly
it's not
any.
drying on the skin. Is if that's what you're thinking.
okay, so since we didn't get through we only got through point like 1 or something.
I didn't know we had any points that we were working on.
So since that's all we got through, Mom and I decided to
cleaning.
go ahead and do our make house cleaning easier video with easy house cleaning ideas with easy ways to clean your house.
Wow.
You think it's going to be easy to do
That
this?
was an adventure.
We got those. I can't find my own self on Facebook. There I am. Oh dear, sorry. We're gonna go ahead and answer some more of those questions because you guys were just going crazy with questions. So if you have more questions, go ahead and post them. We'll try to grab them and your cleaning questions. And Mom's gonna go through a couple of tips.
Sorry, guys.
Also.
Who do you want to start?
All right. You go ahead.
Me? You want me to answer the questions from the other day?
No, I want you to give your point first.
Oh. Well, I don't know what my first point is. The thing is, part of cleaning problem, it's not that you don't know how to clean sometimes, it's that you're not motivated to clean. You don't want to clean. You try to come up with all the excuses not to clean, you know. My house is too big, my house is too small, I have too many kids, I work, whatever it is. And so you need to do two things to keep people from cleaning, and that's procrastination and not having the motivation. And so I thought if we can, we can talk about a couple of those things, if that's all right, to get people motivated, kind of.
Let me answer your question. Hold on, we got a couple of questions
Okay.
about my recipe. Somebody said, I thought you can't mix Clorox and ammonia. I don't use Clorox in my homemade cleaning products with ammonia. You cannot do that. It's poisonous and it will literally knock you out.
She used
That's
alcohol.
why I used rubbing alcohol in Dawn. They're just called Clorox wipes because that's what everybody knows them as, but they don't actually have any Clorox in them, okay? So, go ahead, Mom.
Well, and so to get motivated, you need to try some just little simple things that'll help you. First of all, well, I have a corner in my kitchen that was always messy, and I had a little lamp that I put in there for like a night light at night and that type of thing. And when I turned that lamp on, I saw there was clutter and a mess all around there. So I started cleaning that spot off so it wouldn't look so bad with the light on. If you're having a spot in your kitchen like that, try something like that. Take your dining room table. If it's always covered with piles of stuff, get it cleaned off. Keep a bowl of fruit. Keep some fresh flowers on there, a pretty doily. You'll be less likely to pile stuff on there because you want to see the pretty stuff that's sitting on there. You know, find little things to help get you motivated. Start small. Create habits. If you're always looking for your keys or the mail stays piled, find a place like a little basket and set your keys in that basket every time you come in. You need to start out simple. Don't try to do, okay, we're going to give you a whole bunch of tips tonight, a whole bunch. You may have to go back and re-listen to these, but don't try to do them all next week.
Or, you know what we might do, and dear, this might be something we should do. We should break these up and put them on our podcast. Did you guys know we have podcasts? We have podcasts. Now, we haven't had two with Grandpa passing away and everything. We have done the last two. We do them on Tuesday and Friday, but we haven't done the last Tuesday and Friday because with everything going on. But we've got like 17 or something podcasts. So we might go in and put those back on there.
You need to break up the cleaning?
Yeah.
Clean stuff
Yeah.
to do.
So anyway.
But so start slow.
Re-listen.
Yeah. Listen to it a couple of different times because you'll pick something up each time. And the thing is, it takes a little while to learn a habit. And most of this stuff is learning habits. For example, I get ready. I was always really bad about just dumping my clothes on a chair at night when I got ready for bed. And so then I get up in the morning here, I have this pile of clothes. Sometimes I'd be in a hurry. The pile kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. A lot of you have exercise equipment in the bedroom, and it's where you put all your clothes and pile it. And so I got in the habit of the way I move my hamper over by my closet, and I sit on the bed now in the evening and I take all my clothes off and put them right in the hamper, and my pajamas are right there for me just to reach and grab. It's a new habit that I made for myself, so when I get up in the morning, My clothes are all in the hamper. Something as simple as putting your clothes in the hamper and doing this for a few weeks can make a big difference, whether it's for your room or for your children's room. So start doing one thing like that for a week or two until you get used to it, and try and move the hamper around. Maybe you get dressed inside, you have a big walk-in closet. We'll do it in there, but always try to have a chair by the hamper. That works out more handy, because then you can toss it in. Another thing with hamper on cleaning, like if you have an open hamper, I kind of hate to have, I have a small closet and I hate to have an open hamper inside my closet, because I put stinky socks and stinky undies and all these different things in my hamper. Well, if I don't have a lid on it, all my fresh clothes hanging in the closet start smelling. You want to see child abuse? This is mother abuse. So, think things through. I want you to think about the stuff you're doing. Another little thing to make your life easier, kitchen cabinets. If it's not working for you, you can adjust the cabinet shelves to fit what you need. Instead of struggling with them, look at what's bothering you the most, stressing you out the most, and try to adjust it. As far as procrastination goes, like when I was talking about the clothes, I know I'm skipping all over and I'm hurrying because we got so much to say tonight that I'm trying to get it squeezed all in.
Ooh, Becky absolutely loves our podcasts.
Oh, thank you. But procrastination, I found that it takes more time to worry, stew, and think about doing something than just getting up and do it. Procrastination doesn't solve anything. And Dave's back there making faces.
Jennifer just said she's the queen of procrastination before you said that. So see, you were telepathically connecting with Jennifer, who actually only lives about 20
Not
miles
too far
away from us.
Hi, Jennifer. And so what you have to start thinking, procrastination does nothing but cause you to have 10 times more work. If you put off doing the dishes and they're sitting in the sink for 2 days, they get the gook dried on hard, the stuff on the counter gets hard, then you have to get the plastic scraper Tawra talks about a lot of times. Scrape that stuff off. I timed it one time. I left dishes in my sink for 2 days, and I timed it. It took me 45 minutes I hand washed my dishes, to get the stuff washed off of my dishes, trying to scrub that hard dried on food and the stuff off the countertops, compared to the 10 minutes it normally took me to do that same amount of dishes, all because I procrastinated. And anything, I could go through the house and do everything. If you're not putting your clothes up at night, each night before you go to bed, that pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and instead of taking me like 1 to 2 minutes to just hang stuff up or throw it in the hamper, then I have to spend 15 or 20 minutes at the end of the week trying to put everything away, besides having to trip over everything and look at the mess, which stresses me out. So you need to stop procrastinating. So, you want me to go on, or did you have something?
Yeah, we have like a ton of questions. So I came up with a brilliant idea for a book.
Is it like our organizing
just
book that
brilliant.
I wrote and we couldn't figure out how to get it organized?
A brilliant idea for a book, and I think we need to write it now.
Notice how she says we. Michael, what do you think about that, huh?
So I think I need to write it now.
Oh, no.
She was helping today.
Oh, no.
Oh, stop!
She helped you a little, huh, writing it today.
So we have tons and tons of questions going on here.
What
but
are
go
some of them? 'Cause I
ahead.
can answer some of them.
We'll go ahead and finish like 1 or 2 more points, and then we'll get on questions.
Oh, okay.
And okay, quick commercial break. We are still having our New Year's sale, guys. 20% off, livingonadime.com, and the store. 20% off. Coupon is New Year. It ends tomorrow. It ends tomorrow. So, and then the planners, we still have planners. The 20th is when I'm cutting sales for the planners. So, if you want a planner, up to 50% off on the sets for those. Dining, new. Dave, go ahead, Dave.
New Dining on a Dime cookbook with color pictures and a hardcover for only, wait, I did the math. Wait, oh snap, wait, no, well, it's usually $29.95, but it's 20% off. Hang on.
We're hanging on, Dave. You want me to sing to fill it in?
LiviaDine.com.
Only $23.96 for New Year's stuff. plus
Only
shipping.
$23.96 for the New Year's sale. So if you guys want it, just a little ad there, guys. Okay.
Well, one thing I wanted to add, and that'll kind of take care of this section a little bit, but time yourself. You procrastinate, you can't get motivated because you think this stuff takes too long. You get up and time how long it takes to make your bed. It should take you less than 2 minutes to make that bed, and we've talked about this before. If it's taking you 5 minutes, then you need to look at that bed and think, okay, do I have too many throw pillows? Do I have too many throws that I'm trying to fold up each morning? And get rid of some of them. You know, seriously, simplify and make things easier if you're not making that bed. What good is all those throw pillows and throws for your bed if you don't make it in the morning, you know?
Well,
So
then
why
stop
even-
having so many. Have 1 or 2 throw
Yeah.
pillows, but my goodness, do you need 16 throw pillows on your
Yeah,
bed?
so,
Yes,
you know,
you do.
think these things through and think, what is stopping me from doing this, you know? And if it's too many throw pillows, get rid of some of them.
So
Now-
Jennifer says, when should I stop procrastinating? And my ever so witty husband said, tomorrow, unless you're not feeling it, then the next day. And Jennifer says, great, I'll plan on planning on it.
She could use our planner then, huh? Oh, goodness. Well, yes, Michael, did you have that?
I was just seeing a question, but you're not doing questions yet, right?
Not yet.
Well, and then just some little things. These are little tiny tips that might make your life a little easier. First of all, when you're vacuuming, most people vacuum back and forth, little tiny short strokes back and forth. You're wasting energy and some time. Do long, easy strokes vacuuming. I don't even vacuum anymore. I have a Roomba, and that's the best thing that ever happened to me in my whole life because I can dust, I can pick up, I can do everything while my Roomba's vacuuming, and then I'm done with cleaning the house by using that. But if you are going to use a regular vacuum cleaner, use long strokes doing that. I don't keep mats at your door. This is a very simple thing. At the outside of the door and on the inside of the door. I don't usually like to ask my guests to take their shoes off when they come in the house. So that's why I like to keep the mats. You'd be surprised how much gets tracked in not having the mats. Good mats, not just some cheesy little slick thing, but get some really nice mats to put at both spots on all your doors. Another
So Lori says, Dave, we should pay you for your professional announcer services.
Yep. LiviaDime.com/store.
in the bathroom and in the kitchen too, use pump soaps instead of bar soaps for just general washing of the hands every day because you get the gooky mess that melts all over the sink when you use the bar soaps, and the pump soaps are so much inexpensive now. They're not like they used to be really expensive. So do little things. Just tiny things will change things. One other thing most people don't do, and might get some flack for this one, and that is I have never. Why are you looking at me like that?
Go ahead.
I have never had soap scum in my bathtub before. Never ever do I have soap scum in and I never had to clean it off for one reason and one reason alone. And that is I always, when I gave the kids a bath or I would take a bath, I would just do 1 or 2 squirts of usually you can do bubble bath. You can get cheapy bubble bath. What happens is, now I personally, and look at Tawra turned out just pretty good here. Her skin looks nice and everything, and I did this to her for many, many years. I went and I would just take my Dawn and I put a couple of squirts. I use it on my hands. My hands are still okay after all these years. So I don't think anything. Now, if you have a special medical condition, of course, you maybe can't do this. But I would just squirt Dawn, a couple of squirts of cheapy old Dawn in the bath, and it would make bubbles. The kids love the bubbles. And what happens is those bubbles keep the soap scum from getting onto the bathtub, even if they were filthy dirty. And so I've never cleaned soap scum in my bathtub before. It never happened to me. So, do you want to go to some questions now?
All right, we'll start hitting on some of these questions because holy cow, we got a lot of them. Thank you. Okay, so first of all, what do we use for hand soap or for body soap? I personally use our goat milk soap. right here. This is what I use, and I do use the goat milk cream for my lotion. This is Ellie's soap. I love it. The goat milk is kind of it is an exfoliant and a moisturizer, so I find that I don't really get that dry. But if you just want to use regular bar soap, go ahead and use it. If you want to use regular body wash, that's fine. But that's what I use.
Grandma now, she was using regular bar soap, and she was having a lot of problem itching, and when she started using that, it really did help.
Yes.
I would go back and forth what I would use before I started using the bar soap of Tawra's and Ellie's. I would take and use oil of Olay, and that seemed, I like that. Or I would use the lavender scented Johnson Baby stuff, and that stuff, I don't worry about I don't want, it may be a little bit expensive, but I always got it for Christmas. I asked for those things for Christmas, so.
Yeah. Wait a minute. They're talking about having an intervention because I have a brilliant idea. I have a brilliant idea.
And they always scare us so bad.
ABT will have to fly you out here to help.
It's good.
Are you sure?
Now the question is, can we get it done? Okay, what is a Roomba? It's one of those little round robot vacuum cleaners. Mom loves it. Yeah. Okay. Next. Oh, and you can get the goat milk soap, goatmilkgifts.com. Michael put a link in there. Ellie's got a sale right now, 25% off.
Jill,
How do you make...
Nancy says her children gave her Roomba for Christmas, and she says it's wonderful.
Yes,
There you
everybody that has, most people that have them love them, and so I've named mine. They're so much fun, but go ahead.
Okay, how do you make adult baby wipes? Same principle, just take and use baby soap and water it down with water and rags that you can wash, which I don't know, I'm not real big on doing that, but if you want to, you can go ahead and wash them. There's a lot of people who do that. Okay, what is the name of the romance books you like? Alexandra wants to know. Okay, so this is totally off subject, but we love Grace Livingston Hill, and we love Essie Summers, and we love Betty Neals, and pretty much Mom likes a lot of the Harlequins that are written 1965 or earlier. So those aren't real trashy or anything. So those are the kind. Yeah. Jeanette Oak. She's good. Yeah. So they're good. We like her too. What do you use to clean the inside of a toaster oven?
Oh, well, I don't use anything fancy. I just use a regular cleaner, and if something's stuck on it, since it's just an old toaster oven, if something's really stuck, I just use an SOS pad, which a lot of people don't like to use, but it's inside a toaster oven, so it's not like I'm having a shiny pot hanging on, up in the air or something. And so I just make my life easy. It just scratches right off. Normally, though, first for anything I do like that, I will take a soapy rag and just set on the spot and let it soak, and then just wipe it out. So.
And, Plan with Jen. Ellie, thank you. I just placed my first order at goatmilkgifts.com.
Oh, thank
you, Jen, for
you.
supporting Ellie in that. We appreciate that.
No clue.
And Heather says she just made her first homemade cake with vanilla buttercream for her daughter's 16th birthday tonight, and it is so delicious.
Way to go!
20% off, livingondiet.com. I gotta tell you, it's good. Oh man, we were working on the sequel today, and I was like, I can't wait to start doing this, to start using some new recipes. All right. And Deb says she loves my planner. Thank you, Deb, for buying it. I'm so glad you love the planner.
Can I say something about the planner or any planner?
I'm afraid.
You're afraid?
Lenora wanted to know what's your brilliant idea.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'll tell you.
Well, on the planner, one thing we try to do on this planner that I don't see in a lot of them is we give you suggestions in there, like a cleaning list of things to do. A lot of planners are set in stone. This is what you do in the morning. You have to get up and you've got to clean your shower this morning, and you've got to wash this morning, or you've got to scrub this floor or whatever. And it has a definite thing that you have to do each day. The thing is, those don't work as well just because you may have 10 kids, and the person that wrote the book may have one child that's grown almost, or something like that. And so a lot of people like to get emails. Some of these organizers send emails to their subscribers, you know, that you do this and this and this morning. Well, if they tell me to sweep my porch off this morning, I may not have anything on my porch, so I don't want to waste my time sweeping my porch.
Yeah.
So to use a planner, you need to adapt it to your needs. And just because somebody says you've got to do this today, every Monday you have to do this, or every Tuesday you have to do this, those never work. They work for some people that are just like the person that wrote the book, but they don't work for a huge majority of the rest of the people. So I like the planner that Tawra that we did up, because it's flexible.
Yeah.
You know, you can adapt it to your own needs. Okay, what was the next?
So this is hilarious. Andrew wants to know, do we need recipe testers for the sequel to Dining on a Dime? So this
funny.
is so funny. So I was talking to Heidi as Mike and I were working on the sequel book today. And I was talking to Heidi, my assistant, and I said, you know, I'm really wondering if we should just go through and retest all the recipes and just make sure. Because what happens is you test the recipes, but then transferring them from recipe testing to typesetting and then moving things around in typesetting, things get deleted and lost.
Typos.
You actually accidentally do a half a cup and it's supposed to be a quarter cup. Today, I discovered the pancake recipe that's in there was 3 teaspoons of sugar, and it should have been 3 tablespoons of sugar.
And it makes a big difference.
And it makes a huge difference.
Recipes, yeah.
So I was talking to Heidi. I'm like, okay, let's see. If Heidi, Janelle, and I all test 4 recipes a day, I think we can get done in 25 or 30 days. So I don't know. I'm trying to decide if we want to retest everything or not. I don't know. That's a huge undertaking. But then to divide it up between 50 viewers and have 50 viewers each do 2 recipes or 3 recipes or something, to try and keep track of that, I don't know. Yeah. So, but yes, I do need recipe testers, but I'm not sure how to do it. Okay. Next is, everybody wants to know what my new idea for the book is. I don't know if I should tell it, because then somebody else is going to write it. Although just because you write it doesn't mean they're going to buy it. Believe me, we know. But the idea was, I'm not going to tell you the title, because the title is pretty cool, even if I do say so myself. But
Are we ready, Michael?
oh, wait. Here we go. Hold on.
Drum roll.
Hold on.
Clapping.
Hold
Drum
on.
roll. Oh,
Hold
no.
on. Hold. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. But the idea was, I'm not going to tell you the title.
Wow, that's a long drum roll.
That is a long drum
That's a great
roll,
idea.
isn't it?
Oops. Oh, sorry. A book on how to do things like clean stainless steel appliances, how to clean your toaster, how to clean your toilet, how to clean your microwave.
Can you see the excitement on my face?
Oh, that idea.
That idea.
I thought that was a great idea. Or how to cook macaroni and cheese, how to cook ramen noodles, really basic stuff that people don't know how to do. I think that's a brilliant idea.
What Tara hasn't told you is that Mike is gently trying to kind of push her into Dining on a Dime too, because she has 6 other books already in the works.
By the way, I actually had another idea, which we're going to see how this week goes, but we might try to implement it next week. We're going to try. I started working on it today. Would you guys like a once a month meal plan with 20 recipes and 20 meal plans for $5 as a digital download? Would you guys like that? I think that's brilliant.
Well, you need to have 30.
For every month. No, you only need 20 because they
31
eat
30.
leftovers one day and then they eat out usually one day. So I think that's brilliant. That's another brilliant idea.
And who's
So
going to
you're
do
just
these
counting on
menus?
the fact that someone's going to eat out.
Who's going to do
You.
these menus?
Well, we're going to pull them off the website because we got 300 off the website. Okay. Back to where we were. Hold on, I'm getting behind with all my brilliant ideas. How do you kill pantry moths?
Pantry moths.
What are those?
I don't know about pantry moths. Now, I know if you have weevils,
I think she's talking about the same thing. Well, it's not the same thing, but I think it's the same.
It might
Yeah.
work the same way. I had a pest control guy tell me that you can get
Lysol in the
dark brown concentrated bottle, and you use it concentrated, and you wipe down the whole inside of your kitchen cabinet with that and let it dry before you put everything back. You also need to be sure to keep things in sealed containers.
Freeze it before you put it in your
I always
pantry.
freeze my flour. When you have flour, freeze it in your freezer just 24 hours, anything like that. Because what happens is, I know this sounds kind of gross, but this is a fact of life. Anything that in any place that's like in a mill or something that's made, there is larva.
Lava is from the volcano.
In the Philippines.
Lava. There's probably lava in there too, but they have the eggs in there. There's just no way they can prevent that. That's just a fact of life. So when you bring
guys
it
are
home,
eating bugs every day and you don't know it.
You don't realize it.
Yeah.
So when you bring it home, stick those types of things that you can freeze like that in the freezer for 24 hours. That'll kill the eggs. So you have to do a combination of all those things in order to get rid of
So
them.
Ellen wants to know, how do you freeze 50 pounds of flour? Don't buy 50 pounds of flour. I'm sorry. I know there's people who stock
How
up
is
and
that
get a great deal or whatever, but it is such a pain in the rear. The cost savings really is not worth the hassle for the work, I think.
All the stuff
now,
you have
I'm
to go
chronically
through.
ill with 4 kids. I get, totally different. But if you want, you have to break it up and put it in big freezer bags. Set all the freezer bags in there. Now, back to the pantry mods.
Well, what I would do is, if I have a container, I keep the flour in all the time, like a canister. I would put the flour in there, set it in the freezer for 24 hours, and then...
I know, but she can't leave the rest of the flour in the pantry.
Oh, yeah, she can't leave in the
Not for
pantry,
50 pounds. But here's the thing, guys. If you have moths right now, really what you need to do is dump
Everything.
Anything,
All the
cereal,
the
pasta,
containers
grains.
have to be washed
Dump it.
and cleaned.
And you'll say, oh, that's such a huge waste of money. No, it's not.
You'll save in the long run.
You'll save in the long run. Dump everything that is not sealed in a can.
And wash the containers really good.
Wipe down everything with the brown Lysol really well. Go buy new food, put it in the freezer for 24 hours first, and then move it to your pantry.
And once you get that done, that sounds like a lot of work, and it is. But once you get that done, you might have to do it twice, just because sometimes we're human and we miss. But it should be after that. You shouldn't have so much trouble.
Deborah, if you've got lava in your pantry, you got much bigger problem than bugs.
That's
so true. Okay.
Sorry. Oh dear.
Ooh, Janice said she cooked something out of our Dining on a Dime cookbook 3 times a week. Oh, thanks. All right.
That's currently
Go ahead, Dave.
Go for it.
our
Dave.
Dining on a Dime cookbook with hard covers and color pictures. That is currently, let me do the math again, hang on.
$23 right now with 20%.
$23.
And change.
Okay. Yes. So, also, guys, if you ordered large planners and you have not got a shipping notice, that's because we ran out. So we should have them back Friday in stock, and we will be shipping those on Friday. Okay. Next is, you can get those at Living on Dimes. Everybody likes the menu idea. See, I have brilliant ideas. Nobody believes me. Okay.
You just need
Gordon-
an army to implement them.
Yes, I just need an army to implement them. Gordon family, how do you use salt melt on your linoleum? I have no idea what that question means. So if you want to go ahead and repost it, we will try to answer it for you. How do you get barbecue sauce out of an upholstered chair? Do you have a special stain remover? Marie wants to know. I just use my fabric stain stuff for my clothes.
That you use for your clothes.
You can get an upholstery stain thing if you want, but I buy almost all my furniture used, so I don't really care if I can't get something. I mean, if I put a cleaner on there and it ruins it, for me to ruin a $10 chair is not a big deal. But if you're worried about that, test the cleaner underneath on a piece of fabric. See if it will change the color. If it doesn't, then go ahead and use it.
Always do that. Always test any cleaner on a hidden spot. And then
Jennifer wants to know, what do I do with all the piles of paper? You deal with it right away.
yes, I've got that on the list here.
Mail never sits. Never, ever, ever sits.
Get what you have taken care of right
You
away.
don't even bring home 90% of the mail.
The other thing is, if you walk in with the mail, I walk in with my mail and I don't lay it down. I take care of it. I put some in the trash, whatever goes in the trash, and I deal with it right then. It's much easier to deal with 2 or 3 pieces. I have my files where I file the bills and stuff that I'm going to have to take care of. I have a little stacker thing that I put them in right there where I open the mail. There's a trash can right by me. And so if you have all that lined up, it's really easy. Don't just walk in the kitchen and toss it on a counter in the kitchen. Now, until you get started on that, what you need to do is, you'll get better and better, but you may have to progress slowly at doing some of these things. And that is, if you have a countertop where you lay the mail all the time for it to get stacked, at least get a little wicker basket or some kind of a small basket and put it in there. When that gets full, you've got to deal with it. That's taking baby steps.
Or every Saturday do it, or every whatever
Yes.
day you can deal with it. You pick a day and a time to do it, and every single week you do it.
If your mail comes in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, think, I'm going to fix me a cup of coffee. I'm going to get the mail and deal with it, and then I'm going to sit down with a cup of coffee. Think of things to motivate yourself to do it. I had a woman that her dining room table was covered, and she said, what do I do? And I said, well, how do I even start getting it cleaned up? And I said, every morning she puts her coffee pot on, and the dining room table's right there. I said, while you're waiting for that coffee to brew, you take a little 1-foot section of the table, and you sort through it and deal with it.
Yep, that's what I do. That, because we have stuff all over, it drives me nuts. But as I'm waiting for my tea my tea water to boil, I'll throw the dishes in the dishwasher, and literally by the time the tea is boiled, my dishes are all loaded in the dishwasher. But like when I'm sitting waiting for Jack at school in the line, I go through my wallet, dump all, I usually put it like in the cup holder or something if I don't have a bag, but I'll dump all the receipts that don't mean anything, sort the business receipts from the personal receipts that I need to keep, lay them in my wallet neatly separated somehow. Usually I have a business card or something. As soon as I get home, then I go put them straight into my tax file that I need for our taxes. Deal with it right away. But here's the thing. In the evening, as you're watching TV, pick one file. Go through the file. Dump everything you need with the shredder or whatever. But if you just keep moving on it, is how you're going to get on
To
top.
start out with, if you have a whole counter covered, just scoop it all into one big box, sit down while you're watching TV, and do this. You'll find that probably 3/4 is trash. Yes, Michael?
Oh no, I was just gonna ask Tara.
Oh.
Is there avocado in the goat milk cream?
Yes, there's avocado oil.
Because Marilyn said she's allergic
Yeah.
to it. So
Yeah. No, if you're allergic to avocado oil, it wouldn't work. Yeah.
Okay.
And so you sit there and just half of it will be, or 3/4 probably will be trash. Now, don't get overwhelmed and think, I got to file everything and got to do this. What I do is I have a file folder of papers I need to keep. So I just slide everything for a month or 2 in that file folder. Then once every couple of months, I'll go downstairs and file it away by my desk where it really belongs and do it that way. But you were talking about doing the tea for 1 minute and that type of thing. I went on, this is back on cleaning. I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but it reminded me. One time I was heating some cocoa in the microwave, and I was looking at the top or the back of my stove, and I thought, oh, that is so gross. I need to get that cleaned. And I thought, well, I'll have to plan tomorrow or something to try to clean that off. It kind of goes along with procrastination. And I thought, no, I'm standing there. I just had to reach my arm out, grab up my dish rag, squirt some soap on it. I wiped down the back of the stove, dried it off, and I did all of that in the 1.5 minutes that I was waiting for my cocoa to get done. So do things like that, and that way I had something cleaned and done, and I could sit down and relax, and do drink my cocoa and everything. But the paperwork, the thing is, keep on top of it. This is January. I usually, in January, I have just one file box of papers. That's all I have. I'll sit down and I just go through my file box and get rid of anything that I don't think. Oh, one other thing. You don't have to keep as many things as what you think.
Okay, hold on. We have a question about that. First of all, Jack, everybody says hi. Okay, so Carol says, I have dozens of huge boxes of paperwork from my mother's house to deal with. She never threw anything away, and some of it dates back to the 1960s. It's mixed up with all the important papers.
Yeah.
Okay, how important are those papers really? I mean, I can think of maybe 4 things: birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates. That's it. If it's from the 60s, what else do you need? So you can very quickly go through and dump. This is not a birth certificate, not a death. I mean, you can go if you really need those birth and death certificates. But I'll be perfectly honest. If you know where they were born and if you know where they died, why don't you just write to that state and get another copy of the birth and death certificate if you need it? Just dump it all.
Mm-hmm. And
dump it
on
all.
a daily basis, though, if it's not like a huge amount like her mom's, I was going through some of my mom's, she was getting a lot of things, a packet of letters from like Social Security, and there was probably about 5 or 6 pages to this letter. Well, when I looked at it, the back 3 pages did nothing but say, if you want to contest this and you want to do this and you need to call this number and blah, blah, blah. And they're the same thing repeated every month that she gets. You don't need to keep the whole packet. Get rid of the last 3 or 4 pages that have nothing important, and the front page had some numbers and prices that she needed. So I kept the 1 page. So keeping 1 page compared to 6 is so much better. So when you get Medicare stuff, I was keeping every month they send me a list of all my medications and what I saved on them. And I thought, I've got to save these. It's from Medicare. It's very important, you know. What for? I don't need them for any reason. Just because it listed what I saved on my medicine, why do I have to save this?
Yeah.
Toss it all and really look at this stuff carefully and think, do I really, really do? And if you think you do, keep part of it. And at the end of the year, if you haven't needed it or used it for anything, then I would toss it.
So Carol, she says, my mom hid money and other stuff in there. Okay, but you know you're looking for money. You know you're looking for stocks and bonds. You know you're looking for those kinds of things.
You can
bills, check receipts, all that kind of stuff. You can just dump. You can make that a fairly fast process while you're just sitting watching TV.
Take one box at night and just sit down with break these things down into little bites. Otherwise you'll get overwhelmed.
Time yourself how long one box. Just do one box. And actually time yourself. You will be shocked. I will bet you will be through that box in less than 15 or 20 minutes if you're just really going quick. And here's the thing. Let's say you accidentally throw away a stock or bond or money or something. You haven't had it for the last 70 years anyway, so... Yeah. I mean...
But it doesn't take that long.
It doesn't take
What you're
that
looking
long.
at is the overall picture, a room full of papers just about. If you narrow it down to just one... That's why with the dining room table, when I told my friend to just, when she made her coffee, while she was waiting for the coffee pot to brew, do that one little section. When the coffee was done, quit, you know.
Well, and Becky says it's $25 to get a copy of your birth certificate. So what? If you have to spend, I mean, I don't know how many boxes Carol's mom has, but if let's say she has 25 boxes, let me tell you, that $25 is cheap if she just dumps it all. So really, that's not expensive if you're going to spend hours
and you may never
hours
need it for anything,
Yeah.
really. You know,
just
you
do
may
it when
never
you need it.
So,
I have house property deeds dating back to when the house was built. Well, I mean, if you paid off your house and you need the deed, then keep that.
Yeah.
But if it's for old houses, you don't need to keep any of that stuff.
Yeah, any paperwork for old houses that you've sold and everything from like 10, 15 years ago or even 5 years ago, you don't need to
What
keep.
about capital improvement receipts for when you sell the house? Just keep a folder, put all those receipts in it.
Put them all in there. Personally, I've never ended up having to use any of them because I started years ago doing that, and all the houses I've owned, I've never actually used them because it didn't balance out to, you know, help me any. But just keep a file and always just slide them in there.
Yeah, Tony says we found 900 pound, which is probably like $1,200 policy from 1962 from when my mother-in-law passed. Yeah, that's fine. So sit there and tell yourself, I'm being paid to do this.
So then don't
Stop
worrying
worrying about it.
Just do the work. You're getting paid that much for doing some work.
Yeah. I mean, really. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Guys, you guys are worrying about the cost of things like birth certificates and death certificates and that kind of thing, like $20 a copy. That is not that much money, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to even need it, ever. You don't need those things most of the time. But if you do happen to need it, $20 is not that much compared to having boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff sitting all over.
And the stress
Worrying
from
about
having
the
the
stress
boxes.
of it.
Yeah. And the thing is, so many people, I was driving yesterday and my mom and I went through more storage sheds being built. People are renting storage sheds to put this stuff in. They're buying bigger houses because they don't have room in their home to store all this stuff. You've got to put this in perspective.
And these same people have absolutely no qualms about going by Starbucks and getting 3 coffees for the same price in a week.
Oof.
You got to put this in perspective, guys. You got to put it in perspective. Okay. I'm sorry, but people love to complain and love making excuses. Yes.
Yeah, that's part
what
of what
it's boiling down to.
Think about it. Are you making an excuse just not to have to do it? You know, you need to think about this, because people reason these things out, and it's so much easier to come up with an excuse than just get down and just to do it. You know?
Yeah. How long do you need to keep utility bills? 3 months. For us, we have to take them off on our taxes because our business is in our home. If your business isn't in your home, just keep last month's. If you've paid it, why do you need to keep it? And most utility places you can call and get a list of your old utilities. So,
Sheila's on.
hello, Shayla. Okay, so let's get on to some more questions here. Sorry. How do you help a hoarding parent? Donna, you can't.
No.
Until they get psychiatric help. Don't waste your breath and don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Okay, yes?
Did you see Wanda's question about how to get a melted oven liner out of an oven?
Yes, I'm getting there. Wanda wants to know, that's actually my next question. How do you get a melted oven liner out of an oven? You just scrape it with a razor blade and it should come right off. I had that happen one time.
You're an expert at this.
When I turned my oven what happened was I turned my oven on self-cleaning. My oven gets to 600 degrees and it melted because of that. A little funny story as we were working on the second book today.
I'm thinking the same thing.
We put in the new sequel to Dining on a Dime coming soon. We were putting in there how to clean a pan, and there was a joke that we put in there, and this is a true story. It's not a joke. It's actually a true story, but it's funny. Mike called Mom and said, how do I react when I ask my wife, what is burned onto this pan? And she says, it's carpet. I burned carpet on the pan.
Only Mom would do this.
Yes, I burned
You guys
carpet.
have no idea.
Karen, how do you get stain out of clothing that has already gone through the dryer? So I use Shout for oily stains. Works really well. Now, Fels Naphtha might work if it's like a tomato stain or something like that. If it's an ink stain, like permanent marker or something, rubbing alcohol works really good for that. It just depends on what the stain is.
We've got a list for stains, don't we? Is it in the book or on the website?
It's in our Keeping It Clean ebook series.
Okay. We did a huge list of stain removers that
Shannon, how do you get dark marks, makeup and ink off of white bathroom counter? Take a little bit of bleach, put it on a rag and let it soak, and it should come up. If it's ink, use rubbing alcohol. If it's makeup, you can use shampoo. Sometimes we'll get it out. It depends on how stuck it is.
And if you have makeup on shirts or different things, I use my face makeup cleanser, the face cleanser, because that's made to remove makeup. And so you use that. Think it through. You know, is it on the back of a man's shirt? Is there dark spots? Well, then use shampoo on it, because that's grease and oil that the shampoo's made for doing a person's hair. The same way with makeup.
Becky says she gets rid of all foreign language instructions. People,
Oh, yes.
do
Oh, my
not keep. As a matter of fact, if you're watching us right now, I wouldn't even keep an owner's manual because you can look on the internet now for any instruction manual that you want. But
Amen.
for goodness sakes, don't keep it in a language you can't read.
That's
I'm
not
not
rocket
laughing at you
science.
guys. It's just that came out so funny. But I did that for years, and I thought, what am I doing here? And I mean, I got one thing that was like a 1/2 inch packet of instructions for an appliance, and it dawned on me. I thought, this is crazy, and so I just ripped the pages out that I could understand and threw the rest of it away.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. People are really hung up on paperwork.
Well,
Guys,
this happens every year.
ask yourself, are my kids going to care if I
No.
keep this? Do your kids really care if you keep I'm not exaggerating. We helped move a person one time and there was 10 tubs of school papers. It was ridiculous. Keep one artwork from every year if you really need to. Take a picture of it if you really need to. Guys, my kids' stuff goes straight in the trash.
We do not care.
I have had young men and ladies tell me, they said, my
Not
mom
worth
gave
it.
me this whole box of my schoolwork.
What do I do with it?
What do I want it for? It means nothing to them. I mean, I don't care if I have my report cards from first grade. Why would I
We-
want my report card from first grade?
Do occasionally take pictures though on the phone.
But if
of
you
your
if you
artwork.
If
can't
it's something
release it,
if it's something really important, we'll take a picture to remember if it's something cute.
Yeah.
But I think my kids' file of I have 4 kids. I think I'm trying to think if I have anything. I don't think so. This is how much school paperwork I have from them. And it's funny things like, what did you do this summer? And then they say something funny.
yeah,
you know?
just keep
But-
out the special ones. And one, I think this really hit me because I was saving all these cool stuff for my kids. And I had scrapbooks when I was 10 years old that I put all the special stuff in. And I started going through them and I thought, I hadn't written on there what the stuff was. There was dried flowers, there were tickets to things. I couldn't even remember what these things were. Why would my kids be interested in any of these things if I couldn't even remember what they were, you know? Pictures. Another thing is, well, we'll get in really deep here. If you have pictures of people you have no clue who they are, there's nothing written on them, they're back from
Preach it,
70,
mother.
75 years ago.
Amen, sister.
Why are you keeping this picture of somebody you don't know? I mean, I had a picture and I didn't know this lady, and my mom said, well, I think it was maybe a cousin of a friend of your grandma's. Why do I need a picture of a cousin of a friend of my grandma's for any reason? You know,
Yeah.
toss them. If you
Well-
have family members that might want them, or you know the people that might, give them to them, but otherwise get rid of them.
And here's the thing, guys. Grandpa died, Mom's dad died on Christmas Day. But in September and October, he was driving all of us crazy. He was packing up to go. And he was dumping everything. And every time we would go over to visit, do you want this? Do you want this? Nope. Okay, I'm throwing it in the trash. Guys, it's okay.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
kids, you ask your kids if
I-
they want it.
I
but-
have
He
such
actually
one.
said he didn't want to leave a bunch of junk for everybody to have to be responsible for.
You know, I have such wonderful memories of my folks. And my children. I don't need boxes and boxes of stuff. It's almost like that stuff is your emotional attachment to the person and not true emotions. So you've got to really deal with this and get it, taken care of.
Okay. How do you get stains out of carpet? I've tried everything. It depends. I can't tell you because I don't know what the stain is. But first of all, some stains are just stuck. There is a hydrogen peroxide with Dawn carpet cleaner that's actually going in our sequel for Dining on a Dime that works great for a lot of carpets. If your carpet's that bad, you might as well try it. It ain't going to get any worse. But if you want to try it in a hidden spot behind something to make sure it doesn't discolor your carpet. Kaboom is good. Zep are another one to try.
Zep?
but sometimes the carpet is just stained.
Any stains, it's really important. This is one of those things where you need to not procrastinate
Yeah,
and get on
do it
top
right
of
away.
it. Do it right away. You can save more things.
And stop letting your kids eat and drink all over the house.
Oh, that's one of the things on my list, a major thing. A kitchen is made to be at the kitchen table to eat. You know, a bedroom is made to get dressed in. How many of your kids bring their pajamas into the living room and they start getting dressed or doing things in there? Or use the rooms for what they're made for. Keep the clothes in the bedroom. Don't take them in the bathroom. Buy bathrobes or wrap around a towel and get dressed in the bedroom. The closets are in the bedroom. That's where you need to get dressed. Then you won't have this pile of clothes and dirty socks and everything laying on the bathroom floor all the time. Don't let the kids walk through the house carrying food and dragging crackers and crumbs. Keep them in the kitchen. They sit down. They can learn to sit with a snack. Now, the only exception to that is we had a little family room attached to our kitchen, so they were allowed, where the TV was, to take it in there. But I limited it to those 2 rooms. They did not eat food in bed. I don't eat food in bed.
I don't
Never
eat
do
food.
that.
Why would you ever eat food in bed?
A lot of people do. They watch TV and lay in bed and eat crackers and
But-
chips and
Whenever I do that, I suffocate myself or choke
And-
on something by accident. 'Cause I'm laying
you
down.
choke. But another thing this helps, it helps with being overweight. If you have to sit in a certain, they wonder why kids are obese. They can just drag food everywhere and inhale it. Lay in bed, inhaling the food. Sit down. If you sit down with your food and eat it then, you're less likely, in one spot, you're less likely to just eat constantly. You make it more of a, you know, what do I want to call it, where you just have to sit down and do it. So use the there's something floating in the air if I'm waving at weird things. But use the room for what it was intended. Don't let them drag food all over the house.
Okay, so Simone is very disturbed by the fact that we said get rid of family pictures. Listen, because
You
it's
didn't hear.
family
You
history.
didn't hear what I said.
If you don't know who it is,
That's not a family picture. See, you're not
How-
wanting to hear this. What it is, I didn't say a family picture. If I knew it was my grandma, I would not throw that picture away. I don't know who this was. Have no clue.
Yes,
Why should I
but-
keep it?
because it could be a relative. In my opinion, it's disrespectful to get rid of people that could be great-grandparents. But you don't know
You don't
that.
even know that.
And
Unless
you
you
don't
have
have a way.
If you
To
don't
find
know them,
out.
then you
Unless
don't
you
need
have
the
But
picture.
here's the other thing. How are you disrespecting them?
How?
How is that
That makes no
disrespecting
sense.
them?
Yeah.
I
just
love
a
the
picture.
memory of my dad.
Yeah.
You know, even if I didn't have a picture, I love the memory of him. And I think you're disrespecting yourself. And even then, my grandma wouldn't want me keeping all this stuff and junk around me and making me miserable and stressed out. She would want me to be happy, and she wouldn't mind me getting rid of her picture if she knew that I
So
would be
stress you out.
yeah, that
Yeah.
I could relax and I wouldn't have to buy a bigger house and I wouldn't live in a pigsty or stuff surrounding me, all this stuff. So you're disrespecting yourself, and in one way you're disrespecting your parents, your grandparents, because they don't want you living like that. They really
Yeah.
don't.
Something else I recently thought about is I was looking through old family pictures, and some of them I realized every time I look at this picture, it makes me feel awful. It reminds me of some terrible time that I don't really want to think about. And I was thinking, why am I keeping these? You don't have to keep every family picture if some of them are really reminders of.
Well, and if
Yeah.
it's that
Negative things.
disturbing to you, scan it or take a picture of it on your phone. But if you don't have a way to know who that is, you
Yeah, if
are
you-
just making excuses and not wanting to face the fact
No,
I
of
don't know this person.
some relationship
Sometimes-
that's not good or
and
something.
I'm not saying
but
this is about you or anything, but sometimes people feel guilty or they have different emotions that they're dealing with, and they feel like if they cling to this, then that takes care of that emotion and makes them feel a little better. And I'm not saying this is necessarily your problem, but it just dawned on me there may be some people out there that do that, you know, for that same reason.
Active Agent! Oh, we haven't seen you for so long. Hello! How
who's
are you?
Active
California! Okay, do we keep boxes from our cookware and my nice knives? Nope. As a matter of fact, our recycle bin was full today
Yay.
of stuff like that. No, we don't. Why? I mean,
We usually save for a month or two, make
Yeah.
sure that we don't have to send it back.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what we do.
Okay, yeah. I will save it for a month or two if I need to save it back. We do save our computer boxes if we have to ship our computers back. We save our TV boxes until just a couple of months to make sure the TV's working, that kind of thing, but not long term. Kelly, thank you. I needed this video tonight. You are welcome. I had back surgery 2 days ago and I'm getting ready to move and have been stressing about all the stuff. I am ready to get rid of the stuff and start a new life. That's it. Especially you, Kelly. You're starting a new life. Start fresh. I'm not kidding. I have moved 10 times. Every time I move, I dump everything. I get rid of everything. All my furniture. The only thing I keep is our beds and the antiques that I really, really love, which is like 3 pieces. Everything else, I dump. All the chairs, I dump as many cups, glasses, everything that are just not my favorite. Why move it? I can go to the thrift store and get something new and fun and fresh. And who wants to keep using the same things for 45 years?
But people
So,
have, I don't
start
think you guys
fresh.
understand emotionally how stressful this stuff is on you. We have had more people that we've talked to this about, and they did get rid of a lot of this stuff and get it organized and get it down to manageable. That doesn't mean you're getting rid of everything. Don't think I'm saying get rid of everything,
No.
but get down to where it's manageable for your household. And people say, I can't believe how freeing it was. They're like different people when they've done this. And I was telling Tawra the other day, I don't think people understand how much having a filthy house with junk piled everywhere and boxes of stuff everywhere weighs them down. Ellie came to my house. Well, she came several different times, and she would say this when they'd come back there to visit or something, and she'd walk in and she said, "Man, your house is so clean, and it smells so good." And she said, "This feels so good. It feels so good." Now, a lot of people don't realize the heaviness when you have a whole bunch of stuff, and that's what she was feeling. So emotionally, take care of yourself. We want to take care of ourselves all these different ways by eating healthy, eating right. Emotionally, take care of yourself and get all of the garbage stuff out of your life instead of keeping it. But
Okay, guys, dump means get rid of it out of your house.
yes,
You can recycle it. You can take it to the thrift store. You can
I
throw
ask
it in
relatives
the
if
trash.
they
You
want
just
it.
mean don't keep it.
Don't
Just
keep
don't
it for yourself.
keep it.
So Harley said, what if, I forgot, something like, what if you need it, or what if you... So here's the thing. A long time ago, I used to collect a lot of stuff, and I would never get rid of it. And I kind of went through this big process of thinking it's valuable. So I thought, oh, well, if it's valuable, I should be able to put it on eBay and sell it for a lot. And if I put it on eBay and it didn't sell, it wasn't valuable. Then I would say, okay, if it's usable, I'll give it to a thrift store. If it's not good enough for a thrift store, I'd toss it. And I said to myself, I'm realizing I'm going to get rid of this stuff, and there's a chance some of it I might regret getting rid of and want to get back again. So that'll probably be 10% or something, and the money that I made on the eBay things, I could use to buy it again. And I realized pretty quickly, I never ever bought any of it again. I never missed any of it. And I think that's the case with almost pretty much when we say, what if I need it again? And the other thing is,
That's kind of an excuse.
You're making
well, it's an excuse that hurts you.
Yeah.
And one thing we realized also, especially when we moved 9 years ago, we got rid of everything. So we moved 6 people in a small moving truck. And that's only because we just didn't collect anything at that point. So I strongly recommend that.
Because
If you want
it
to
really
keep them,
is
though.
kind of an excuse because
allowed
the only stuff that you might miss, you can go to the thrift store and probably replace
I was
it
going to say
very
90%
cheaply.
of stuff you can get rid
Yeah.
of. Things, you can get rid of things, 90% of them, you can get at the thrift store for like dollars worth. So it's not, yeah. I mean, 90% of it you can get rid of it. Okay. So What about cookbooks? You only need one.
Which you can buy at livingonadime.com/store for only
You know what? I had a
$23.90
ton.
something.
I had a ton of cookbooks, and I realized I didn't look. I went when I moved from Kansas to Idaho. I was looking at these cookbooks. I thought, it's been 15 years since I even cracked any of them open. Why am I keeping them? You know, I can probably go to the library and check one out if I need it. I took my favorites. I had like different sections. I had my very, very favorites that I used in the kitchen all the time. I took one box that I thought was iffy, and the rest of them, I never even used them in the first place. I never used one recipe out of them, but I kept them because they were a cookbook. So, you know, go down and really think about each one and think and get rid of what you can.
People are very disturbed about the picture getting rid of thing.
I know, people always are. People
I don't
really, there's
understand.
something, it's kind of like this woman one time, she had taken pictures, and she had 15 pictures of a dolphin jumping in the air. And when I said, maybe you could just, at the same position, and I said, maybe you could get rid of all the rest of the pictures and just keep one. She couldn't handle it. It was a picture. I'm thinking, why not? What actually, okay, think about this. What will actually happen if you got rid of a picture of nobody that you know? What would happen? Or one that you have like,
could be bad.
oh, my kids' school pictures, I got rid of them. Would you believe it? Now,
the Santa Claus milk jug, it was a classic.
now, when I say that, I had 4 pages of school pictures. Everybody I knew of had one of their school pictures for that year. And if I have 2 kids with 4 pages, that's 8 pages for 12 years. Do you know how many pages of school pictures that is?
A lot.
I cut out enough to give like each one of the grandkids maybe. And I asked Tawra if she wanted one. She didn't. She already had one. She didn't want any more of them. And I got rid of the rest of them. Nobody wanted school pictures of my kids except for my parents and Tawra and maybe
I
the
didn't care.
grandkids, and she didn't care.
Yeah.
So nobody else was interested in it. So I didn't keep any more pictures than what I thought that
Yeah, and
needed
Pam
it.
said, another YouTuber said, how is this making your life richer? You guys, you have to start, how is this improving my life?
Yeah.
Is this improving my life, or is it making my life more stressful?
So like I said,
This is not
my
hard.
grandma doesn't want me, if I'm getting stressed over the box of pictures of her, and maybe I have 1,000 of them, she doesn't want me being stressed over that. She'd
Yeah.
rather me be happy.
And Janice said, of course, you won't do this with Dining on a Dime because all the recipes are wonderful and you use them all the time. But other cookbooks that aren't as perfect as Dining on a Dime,
you
just
tear
cut
out
out the recipes and put them in a 3-ring binder. Who said that? Janice, I think, said that. That's exactly what I did. As a matter of fact, we have it. Hold on. Right here. These are all the recipes from other cookbooks.
And that goes with magazines. I know people that
Yeah.
have stacks and stacks of magazines. The minute I get that magazine, I spend that evening reading it, and I tear out the pages I want, put them in a folder, and get rid of the magazine. And when I say throw them away, I take them to a nursing home, to someplace like that can use the magazines. But I get rid of them out of the house, and then I just have my folder. And then in a year, if I haven't done that recipe or whatever's in there, then I get rid of it some more.
Okay, so Lori says, she grew up, I kind of missed the whole thing, but I think she said her dad maybe left or something, and so she has a hard time getting rid of things that remind her of happy times. If something reminds you of a happy time and it makes your
it.
life better, keep it.
We're
It's
not
okay.
saying to get rid of everything. We're just
Yeah.
saying, I don't
That's
know
totally
this
okay.
Joe Blow on this picture. It
Yeah.
means nothing to me. Why am I keeping it to have a whole box full of this?
Mhm.
But if you love it, if it's your dad and brings back good memories, keep it. You've got to distinguish between these things. We're
Yeah.
not saying just go through your house and dump everything.
Oh, we just got a super chat from Marilyn.
Thank
She
you.
says thank you. She just paid off another
Way to go.
credit card. Very good. You go, girl. Okay. Okay. No, the Dining on a Dime is the same cookbook The sequel we are working on now is going to have new recipes. This is the same classic, wonderful book that you've always loved.
In color.
In color, we have color pictures right there. Color pictures, hardcover. And yeah, oh man, do I mention my big mistake I made the other day? Oh dear. You guys aren't going to believe what I did. Yeah, you would.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Okay, Darlene says she has all of our cookbook and Pioneer Woman's too. Guys are better.
That's all right. We like it.
I'm only kidding. Okay. All right, so guys, here we go. So we are doing a giveaway. I have...
Wait, are you saying we can win a Dining on a Dime cookbook that's hardcover with colored pictures for free?
I am!
Holy moly! What
Okay.
a good deal!
So guys, I have 2 printer copies from this. They send you demo copies. They are not correct. This one doesn't have the printing on the side, and the other one, the picture is off center. But I'm gonna give them away because what do I need them for? I don't. So I'm gonna give them away to 2 people. I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 minutes here. Write book if you want to try and win in the comments, and we will see if there's any last questions while you guys are putting your entries in. Life with Casey. Also, I stopped putting up pictures because of family members getting upset that their pictures weren't up. If I put pictures up in my house, it's of other people that live in the house only. Oh my goodness, how petty can you be?
If they're upset about it, then you shouldn't. Well,
I'm
no.
sorry you have people in your family that are that petty, huh?
People in her family come over. She didn't have a picture of them put
Like
up. They
her
got
mom
upset.
or grandma or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That just is...
that makes life miserable for you to have to deal with that kind of stuff. But
Alright, scroll right on me.
Okay, let's see. We're getting here. Wow, everybody's wanting the book. All right, here we go, guys. We'll do YouTube first. Okay, Mom, tell me when to stop.
now,
Maria D. Maria D.
On YouTube.
On YouTube, send me editor@livingonadime.com. Send me your name and your address.
I cannot believe how many people don't send that.
I stopped doing giveaways because it was taking so much time because people weren't sending me their name or their address or what they won. So I'm going to do a couple more, but you got to send me your name and your address to
and what you won.
@livingonadime.com, and that you won a Dining on a Dime. Okay? Next, Facebook. Here we go.
So.
Kim Hamilton.
Yay.
Editor@livingonadime.com. Your name and your address. If you're driving in the car or something, just go to livingonadime.com and click on contact. Send us any email.
Just do that when
And
you're done
we will
driving.
get that. All right, guys. Don't forget our New Year's sale ends tomorrow on the books and the planners. 20% off everything in our store. So if you want to buy the price book by itself, or the financial planner, or my magnetic notepads, everything is 20% off. The planner sets are up to 50% off. We're getting close to the end. These are shipping around next week to February 1st, okay? Depending, we shipped over, I think it was 500 orders the last 3 days.
Yes.
500 orders. Last night I was like, that's it, I quit. I ain't doing this anymore.
Oh, I still typing bug.
I was quitting, but I did it. So, livingonadime.com, go to the store, use New Year for the coupon code Ellie's Goat Milk Cream and Goat Milk Soap. Goatmilkgifts.com, coupon code B-Day. That is all our sales right now. Is that it, dear?
Yep.
All right. Please like, like, subscribe, and share. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
and even though
thank
we
you,
yelled
guys.
at you, we still love you. See you guys
Bye
later.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.